officially open our first ever conference of Professors Without Borders, today at the London School of Economics. I want to especially thank the Go Future Centre, represented by Titus, and Bridge to Goal for their really generous sponsorship and contribution to today's conference. Without your support, we would have not been all sitting here now.
We want to make education in the future generation a much better situation than it is today, especially going by what's happening around the world.
Now I would like us to welcome our first keynote speaker, Dr. Abdel. I am incredibly proud to be able to introduce him today.
I'm very happy that you invite me. I'm very happy to be here and to meet you because you are the most important part of the society, teaching people.
In my experience, teachers are not equipped to teach soft skills.
I believe that you hire people for attitude and train them for skills.
We don't have to talk about the digital revolution, we don't have to talk about robots, jobs, and all that kind of stuff. We need to talk about people.
One of the first things we do in educating the adults is really to show them you're made up of three things, and this is what we use technology to do. It's your behavior, your aptitude, and your situational judgment. And through technology and the measurement of the soft skills, we actually can show adults jobs should be able to find you and not you look for jobs. Educators and all of us have to ask the question, what's the length and breadth of our human potential?
We still have the same system today, but everything else has changed. We've changed, the operating system has changed, but actually we're still feeding the same information into it. So what are we getting?
The groups who work as a team have much better output.
We have to know what are focus and what they're interested in, and then talk the same language. And then when we talk the same language, they can engage with us much more.
Universities and institutions should invest more in psychology, you know.
So those seeds are planted, at least they're planted, and they have the right environment to sprout.
When you have done therapy, that you can remove the traumas.
I think universities should have their students engage more in live events.
Even though Generation Z is a very digital, technologically savvy generation, that doesn't mean that we don't need engineers in the future. We still need scientists.
We have to be more inclusive to enable everybody to benefit from higher education. The feedback that we got from the research we've done is that the students were incredibly creative. They're much more comfortable with technology. They drive engagement from other students. There are many, many reasons why, if we want to change stuff, we need to bring our students to the table and work with them as partners in this process.
Innovation, in my opinion, is essential to be embedded in everything we do. There's no doubt that research should be one of the pillars of any strategic plan of a higher education institution.
And we went private and we became a social enterprise. And it's now the most successful ad school in Britain. But the key thing to that school ultimately was the word why. Every single day the students there were encouraged to say why.
Now you can't go to a school system and say, oh, it's easy. Just teach your kids meaning and love. Lecture to them and have meaning and love. That won't happen. Instead, you have to give them exercises, you have to give them education, you have to plug them into the world, and eventually from that you get the sense of meaning and love.
How can we make students into entrepreneurs? And I'm particularly interested to hear who the we is in that sentence, whether that is universities, whether that is society, whether that is as entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs are following their own ideas, they don't fit. To quote Steve Jobs, they're the crazy ones, the misfits. They love to go around structures. They love to trick the system. University cannot do that much to make students into entrepreneurs.
I wonder if entrepreneurs are born or made. I really do. I'm not 100% convinced about this. Entrepreneurship means so many different things to so many different people. You have the right and the choice to make the life that you want with the money that you make in the way that you want to make it.
Professors Without Borders, in the name and the mission, if I understand it correctly, you want to do, mimic the Doctors Without Borders and bring education like others do healthcare. We have to find more effective ways, more flexible ways and more learner-centric and self-driven ways for these huge amounts of changing environments and different learning paths that hundreds of millions of people will have. If we don't integrate them, a lot of societies will fall apart.
The question is for me, how can education evolve? What are the psychological underlying mechanisms to acquiring knowledge and competence? Personally, I see AI as the fastest evolving technology on the planet, which has ever existed.
I think higher education can actually help the entrepreneurs by choice. Maybe higher education can help frame what problems you want to solve.
What can we change in the higher education sector to recruit, train, and retain the best educators?
Was in my first tour of Afghanistan as a man raping a young girl in the playground in front of all the other school students. Got on the phone to the Afghan police with my interpreter. They pretty much just laughed us off the phone and said, no, that is normal. It is just normal daily life, and that's the risk that they take to get educated. What it makes you think about is the value of education. They value it so much that it is worth that risk. The parents will take that risk.
Young people here in United Arab Emirates and in the Gulf country, they born in a very rich family. They want to go and work within the government entities, and they want to work in authority. Whatever is being taught in the university is not satisfying these young people.
The teacher cooperate with government agencies or business entity to create policy innovation. In return, the government official and politicians can support our university in changing higher education to benefit the society better.
One thing that completely came up and hit me on the side of the head time and time again as I went through these large major corporations in Europe is the amount of incredible talent, desire, and skill trapped in the minds of our mid-career workforce. My degree is in X, I will only be allowed to do X for the rest part of my life. And at this completely, I don't understand this, because to me career change is something I do like I breathe.
The universities tend to be rubber stamp, get your education. If you get into engineering, and what happens is we're overpopulating kind of certain markets with subject matter that really the job market doesn't need anymore.
I absolutely agree that we should be able to do distance learning because that reaches a population we can't today, and it's criminal if we don't do that.
We have talked about skills, we have talked about entrepreneurship, we have talked about Gen Zian, we have talked about the way we teach, and the fusion between traditional and non-traditional skill-based training and teachings.
In a way, we all have ideas, and we've all been educated because we've been learning from each other in this conversation over the last 2 days.
I'm sure we will create beautiful new partnerships for professional audits.
Thank you so much for your support.